For some people, summer vacations consist of a mellow day at the beach or a cruise. But for me, it consists of wild adventures circulating around the goal of seeing trains. Welcome to the Boston by Rail's East Coast Excursion. Join us on this 4-day journey as my brother and I explore what American Southeast railroading has to offer. Climb aboard on one of the most wild rail fanning adventures ever to be documented by Boston by Rails. I started out early, real early. It's 4 a.m. on June 23rd, 2021, and I am headed to Logan International Airport where I will embark on my journey down south. As I watched the peaceful sunrise and flew over the hustle-bustle cities, I felt like it was a mellow entrance to the rail fanning extravaganza I was about to enter. Upon arrival at Greenville-Spartanburg International Airport, we hop into my brother's car and embark on our journey, but not without a horn blast. We make a beeline for a favorite crossing of my brother's called Waddell Road. When we near the road, we can already see a train parked on Mainline 1. All of a sudden, we hear a K5LA, and our railfan instincts kick in. Instantaneously, we pull over and jump out of the car. Here is NS 265, an intermodal from Charlotte, North Carolina to Chattanooga, Tennessee, with an SD70 ACC leader. This train would cause all sorts of trouble in the future, so stay tuned. After 265, we make our way up to Artillery Road Crossing to see the tied-down 154 proceed east. As I check the ATCS to see if 154 has clearance, I notice it does not because of another westbound. For those who don't know, ATCS means Advanced Train Control System and can be used by railfans to track freight trains, but its primary use is for dispatch to know where trains are. A great source I recommend to all of you is Hotspots Southeast, which uses ATCS to track trains on Norfolk Southern's Greenville division. If you want to use ATCS on other lines, here's a helpful video which talks about another ATCS source, which I also use. Enough with that infomercial. Here's NS 213, a westbound hotshot intermodal from Rutherford, Pennsylvania to Atlanta, roaring through Greenville after 265. After getting clearance to the single track at Taylor's, here's Norfolk Southern 154, mixed freight from Irondale, Alabama to Greensboro, North Carolina, heading east. After 154, we head to our Airbnb, which is right near the tracks. All of a sudden, I check my phone and notice that there is a report of a derailed Norfolk Southern train in North South Carolina. It took me a few moments to process that this train was the 265, which we saw earlier. With any form of transportation comes the possibility for an accident. These accidents are rarely anticipated. Thus, when they occur, the cost can be exponential. Everywhere we went, we saw news about the derailment, and for good reason, because it was bad. Real bad. But we both agreed that we had to make the most of the situation. The first way to do this was by driving to the derailment site. While on the way to the site, we saw NS 213 tied down in Liberty, South Carolina. The 213 tied down at this crossing right here. It seems like they combined trains because we saw them at the crossing seen here in this video. This is them at Artillery Road. They've been here for a long time, but they have way more locomotives than they did then, so that's cool. Don't know what that's about. So now we are leaving to head to Central to see the derailment. Sadly, Highway 93, which parallels the tracks, was closed off, so we could not see the double stacks on the ground. Here's a maintenance of way parade working on some tracks and broken rails at the site. The next day, we got word that the tracks were reopening at 10 p.m., so we headed to Waddell Road to see the parade of trains pass us. While driving there, we saw what is likely local P78 heading light back to Spartanburg. We had quite the horn battle with this local. Only minutes after P78 passes, came a southbound intermodal, wasting no time at all getting through Greenville. To put the icing on the cake, here is NS Empty Ballast Extra 96Z heading north towards Charlotte. This extra dumped ballast on the 2 miles of replaced track at the derailment site in Norris. That wraps up the first episode of Boston by Rail's East Coast Excursion. We saw many great things, but also experienced many great inconveniences. Join us in episode 2, where my brother and I travel to Austell, Georgia, a southeast rail fanning gold mine, as we try to make up for our lost action in Greenville.